"Oh, look at those two. All right, you're fine. Don't worry. Oh, what's going on? Maybe they're having an affair or maybe they're just shy." Tonight was supposed to be perfect, a sold-out Coldplay concert in Boston where the lights, music, and thousands of voices blended into a magical sea of emotion. But in that quiet moment, as tens of thousands of hearts were focused on the stage, something unexpected happened, throwing everything off script. It wasn't the orchestra, nor was it Chris Martin. It was the camera that captured the kiss. The lens zoomed in on two faces sitting together in the VIP section. One was a calm man, the other a woman smiling shyly, but clearly uncomfortable. They weren't singers, they weren't celebrities yet. In just 30 seconds, they became the focal point of a global media storm. If you're a Coldplay fan, you definitely can't miss the drama surrounding Andy Byron being caught in the act of having a secret affair. What do you think about a powerful, wealthy person getting caught up in such a scandal? Have you ever had a similar experience in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a 1 if you have an LGBT friend or a 0 if you don't. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the upcoming shocking stories. Andy Byron, the CEO of a billion-dollar company, and Tristan Catt, the HR director, were caught on camera exchanging a deep gaze, their hands gently clasped under the bright stage lights. That sweet moment suddenly became the spark for a scandal that rocked social media. Byron lowered his head, trying to avoid the camera, while Catt covered her face with her hand, turning away as if to escape the reality. An unexpected affair no one saw coming. The crowd erupted not because of the song, but because of the unbelievable surprise. Chris Martin tried to keep the stage energy alive, joking, "Oh, look at these two," but the tweet and that moment were quickly captured by thousands of phones. Within hours, social media exploded. TikTok was flooded with clips analyzing their gaze, Twitter kept updating the trending topic, Reddit dissected every frame, and YouTube was filled with reaction videos. Even t-shirts with the image of the two were sold in droves on Etsy and Amazon. All of it started from one hug, not due to a technical error, but a moment caught on the massive LED screen. And that slip-up changed everything. The kiss camera scandal became a psychological case study on the power of eye contact, and the reactions after infidelity is exposed. On platform X, formerly Twitter, no one could keep a straight face. Watchershaw Coldplay Gate shot to the global top trending in just 6 hours. The sarcastic tweets poured in, "One hug, one career, one company. Rest in peace, astronomer, now HR has to hold an ethics meeting." One sarcastic comment read, "Divorce rates at Coldplay concerts are very low, but it's not impossible." YouTube didn't stay quiet. Reactions podcasts, parody videos with "Fix You" playing in the background. Even matching rings engraved with the words, "Oh, look at these two" were being sold. The internet didn't just spread the news, it created and reinvented the story in ways no one expected. That moment quickly became a pop culture icon. The two became viral memes, and the concert night turned into a memorial for a CEO's career. No one checked the facts. No one asked, "Is this true?" Instead, it was rapid-spread laughter and millions of eyes glued to every frame. Because on the internet, you don't need a scandal, just a camera and a gaze full of affection. As the clip spread, questions began to surface. Not about the hug or the gaze, but why they were sitting next to each other, a CEO and an HR director, in the VIP section of the concert, an area usually reserved for couples' special guests or family. TikTok quickly became the site for an unofficial investigation. Creators recreated the seating chart of the stadium, with many even screenshotting the ticket position in Section A3. You can't sit next to someone unless you buy tickets together. On Reddit, people dug into the past. An account allegedly from a former employee wrote, "We used to see them travel together for work, but there were never any pictures taken together. Now we get why." Every gesture in the clip was replayed like scenes from a thrilling detective movie. The woman turned away. Byron lowered his head, but their hands still didn't part. It all hinted at a chilling possibility. This wasn't a random moment. It was a secret accidentally exposed under the camera's light, which never lies. In the world of power, nothing is accidental. A fake apology and a cruel joke. As the social media storm reached its peak, a surprising post appeared on X, formerly Twitter. A screenshot of a letter supposedly written by Andy Byron started with the words, "I don't deny it, but I never wanted things to happen this way." What followed were heartfelt words about the pain, the invasion of privacy, and the mistakes of the heart. At the end of the letter, a Coldplay lyric from Lights seemed like a promise. "I will guide you home and I will try to fix you." The internet fell silent for a moment. Many people began to feel sympathy. Some shared the post with the hashtag #ShatraForgiveByron. One comment read, "At least he's still human." But it wasn't long before doubts surfaced. The account that posted, although officially named CBS News, had no blue verification check, and the journalist tagged Lindsay Morrow turned out to never have existed. The truth shattered in that moment. The letter was a forgery created by a famous satirical account known for making fake headlines. In just a few hours, what started as a heartbreaking moment turned into a joke. Hilarious memes quickly flooded the internet. Byron was photoshopped, sitting in the rain, holding a crumpled piece of paper with the words, "Fix me, buddy." He couldn't even fix his seat. The public's mood shifted from pity to mockery, from empathy to laughter that spread like wildfire. In the midst of the storm, no one cared whether a real apology was ever sent, because in the age of lightning-fast viral moments, a lie can touch your heart before you even realize it was just a joke. Meghan, the most powerful silence. While the world mocked the scandal with social media flooded with jokes, memes, and even matching rings featuring the CEO's image, there was one person who chose to remain silent. That person was Meghan Carrion, the wife, or more accurately, the ex-wife of Andy Byron. No one knew where she was during the concert. No one saw her after the incident. Meghan didn't respond to the press, didn't give any interviews, and didn't post a single status update. She did only one thing, and that action made the entire internet fall silent. She quietly removed Byron's name from Facebook, returning to her old name, Meghan Carrion. No captions, no emojis, no hashtags. Then she disappeared. Her Instagram was gone. Facebook was no more. Meghan left like a sad melody, fading into the wind, but leaving behind a heavy resonance that made it hard to breathe. A few hours later, the internet began to take notice. The moment that once made people laugh now became painful, raw, and deeper than ever. Comments flooded under old posts. People sympathized, honored Meghan, and shared in her pain. One tweet went viral with over 100,000 likes. "The true queen. Call the divorce lawyer, bring the designer bag. No press conference, no tears. Just one act of silence and the world will stand by you." In an era where everyone is quick to speak up, Meghan chose silence, and that silence became the most powerful statement. No need to expose him, no need for confrontation, and no need for an explanation. With just one decisive choice, Meghan became a symbol, not of a victim, but of dignity. A woman who understands her worth doesn't need to prove it to anyone. Perhaps amidst all the ironic tragedy, Meghan was the only one who made the world truly stop. Not because there were no words left to say, but because words could never carry the weight of such deep-wounded self-respect. Meghan didn't need to win. She just needed to walk away, letting the whole world watch. Because sometimes it's not what you say, but what you don't do that makes the world truly listen. What do you think about how Meghan faced the challenges in her life? Is silence, and the decision to walk away the greatest victory she could achieve? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story impactful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Exposing the astronomer and the empire built on fear. While the name Andy Byron became a joke on the internet, the astronomer slowly transformed into something else, a symbol of disillusionment. Before the scandal, he was the CEO of Astronomy, a billion-dollar data company respected in the tech world. The bright gem in the SAS universe. Investors called it a prophetic machine, not only because they sold software, but because they sold the future of data, the future of consumer behavior, the future of governmental control. On that gleaming throne, Andy Byron sat, the one dubbed the Whisperer of Data, a strategic genius capable of turning source code into a vast fortune. But now he was nothing more than a meme, a global joke, a symbol of the worst media disaster of 2025. Former employees began speaking out anonymously, their outraged voices flooding Reddit-blind Discord and even old posts on Slack. Accusations sliced through the glossy exterior of the company. One person recalled, "We had to rehearse the demo 19 times for a 10-minute pitch to investors. We couldn't get anything right by his standards. Everything had to follow Byron's delusions." Another employee shared, the company ran on deadline, pressure, exhaustion, and silence. Along with this came leaks of internal messages, tense conversations, and demands for perfection where employees weren't allowed even the smallest mistake, not even the luxury of taking a bite while working. Byron and Kat were seen as the two most shadowy figures in the office. The long-ignored complaints about poor working conditions exploded back into the spotlight, shared by thousands. Astronomy had a sleek exterior, but behind it was a true hell. The HR department wasn't there to protect employees, but to protect the CEO. As the internet absorbed these stories, the outrage spread uncontrollably. This was no longer just a typical scandal, but a toxic machine. An empire built on control, fear, and silence. All it took was one accidental angle revealing the truth, and the entire castle came crumbling down. The stock price plummeted disastrously. Partners remained silent. Astronomer's website froze with no updates posted. Andy Byron's LinkedIn vanished without a trace, no explanation or statement issued. Only a heavy, suffocating silence remained as the entire system seemed to try and delay its collapse. The truth is, when a company is built on fear, you don't need to destroy it. Just a light touch, and it will crumble on its own. At first, people thought it was just a small scandal, a weak moment, a hug caught on camera, a glance that went wrong. But as old stories were revealed, everyone realized that this scandal was no accident. It was the final spark, the flame that had burned down an empire built entirely on fear. Astronomer once valued at $1.3 billion is no longer a symbol of success in the tech world, but has become a prime example of the collapse of startup culture, a place where the glow of fame masked the cracks of arrogance, manipulation, and burnout. Andy Byron, once hailed as a diamond mind, a strategic genius, and the king of data, owned a lakeside mansion in Tahoe, millions of dollars in stock, and held meetings with top venture capitalists every week. To the media, he was the ideal CEO role model. The story has now gone far beyond a personal scandal. It has become a cultural symbol of the cutthroat and high-pressure tech world. But behind the sleek glass doors of the office, Andy Byron was a completely different person. Former employees who worked alongside him began to speak out. One recalled, "I was called into a meeting just for using the wrong font in a report." Another shared, "We had to rehearse our presentations until 3 a.m. Every time Byron entered the room, the atmosphere seemed to be sucked out, creating an unbearable tension. One person bluntly said, "We weren't working, we were just surviving in fear." What's even more painful is that Chris Catt, the HR director who was expected to protect employees from abuse, was caught on camera engaging in intimate actions with the CEO. The final shred of trust in the HR system crumbled instantly. The negative reviews, once suppressed, suddenly exploded everywhere. Astronomers seem to be nothing more than a shiny exterior with ultimate decay hidden inside. "I quit just to be able to breathe again," said a former employee. Leaked internal messages revealed the cold, inhuman nature behind the company's metal facade, sending shivers down the public's spine. A member in a private chat wrote, "Karma is real. We warned everyone about him years ago. The company once hailed as a tech unicorn is now nothing more than a scene of ruin." Astronomer's website froze with no updates. Byron's LinkedIn profile vanished. No explanations, no apologies, just a desperate silence. People gradually realized that the scandal didn't stem from a single kiss on camera. It was the result of a system built on control, an obsession with image, and a fear-driven culture. When Byron sat in the concert hall, he probably didn't know that that lone camera shot would not only capture his face, but also expose the darkest corner of his billion-dollar empire. Because an empire built on fear doesn't need to be destroyed, it only needs to be touched. After all the criticism, collapse, and outrage, the internet's tone shifted. What started as a tragedy turned into a comedy, and anger gave way to entertainment. In the age of memes, even the pain of others becomes a source of amusement. Late-night shows quickly seized the opportunity. Jimmy Fallon smirked, singing a parody of Fix You with the lyrics, "When you try your best but end up kissing HR." Trevor Noah pretended to be puzzled. "I've never seen a CEO take HR to a concert unless the band is called Internal Policy." Saturday Night Live didn't miss the moment debuting the skit Kiss Cam Courtroom, a trial under the spotlight with Chris Martin as a reluctant witness, while Byron and Catt were put on trial before millions of viewers. On TikTok, creators turned the story into a fictional miniseries reminiscent of Netflix. The trailer for Coldplay Confessions appeared a scandal retold in 4K quality, complete with music drama and lines based on the real-life awkwardness of the characters. Coldplay Cruise, a fictional fanfic that mocks social media, turning real-life events into jokes, tragedy into comedy. But behind that layer of humor, the real pain of those involved still smolders, hidden beneath layers of memes, tweets, and t-shirts printed with plot twist. The question you raise is truly important. If the CEO and the HR director are accomplices, then what do employees have left to trust who is there to protect them? It's terrifying how power and silence create a system where justice doesn't exist. People are afraid to speak out because they know their voices could be silenced by the very system they expected to protect them. Image is the crown, but also the ticking time bomb. This encapsulates the essence of modern-day reputation crises. Just one slip-up, one camera shot, can cause a billion-dollar brand to vanish in an instant. The story of Andy Byron is not just a personal scandal, but a symbol of the collapse of trust, the core element in building any organization. And that trust is now severely challenged by constant surveillance, public pressure, and the viral power of social media. The spotlight not only highlights the face, but also exposes what was once hidden. This line serves as a perfect metaphor for the ruthless power of the media and social networks. It's not just about exposure, but a trial for every individual. Don't forget to share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. If you want to hear more shocking and unexpected stories from the world of the ultra-wealthy, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.